We'll be starting in just a moment. Thanks very much for being on. Hopefully you're enjoying the virtual sales management conference that we have here today. We have about 30 minutes left in the event. I'm just going to wait for the light to come on here and get started here shortly, and I'll introduce the panel for you as well. And hopefully you've been enjoying this event. We work hard at getting you the right topics and speakers and contacts, and hopefully you've been making some connections as well. I've been in the networking area. I've had a chance to meet some people, so always fun. So just want to make sure we got some audio and video, make sure that it's working out okay, and I will start momentarily. Okay, so welcome back to the Virtual Sales Management Conference. My name is Mark Belache. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. Excited to be joined by a great panel of professionals in sales management, and lots to cover. So I'm going to just go one at a time here and introduce each person on the stage. So Colin Jean is Director of Digital Engagement, Sales and Growth at Service Credit Union. And welcome, Colin. Thanks for being on. And perhaps you can introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your background and your experience and your sales management experience as well.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, everybody, for joining. Again, my name is Colin Jean. And just to preface one thing, the views and opinions here represented are my own. I'm not representing the company I work for right now. But speaking from about 20 years in the digital sales, e-commerce, digital marketing industry, my current role is all things focused on driving revenue through a digital banking channel or a e-commerce environment. And one of the primary things I always look at is a revenue operations framework. How can we align our sales and our product and our marketing and our omni-channel environments, including digital and digital passing leads to frontline agents and frontline agents passing leads to digital? How can we operationalize that in an agile framework where there's consistent delivery of not only revenue opportunities, but also engagement opportunities for surprise and delight of our customer and membership base, but also looking at that, how can we continue to engage our membership base and our prospects through digital banking so that we can make their lives easier and more accommodating, especially in this current environment we're working in, where there's a lockdown scenario, or there is a scenario where you just prefer to do your banking on your mobile device. Maybe it's Saturday afternoon, you don't want to go to, leave your home for whatever reason. So we make emphasis on that part as well. And that's what I do in a nutshell. And speaking from, a history point of view, I've been, in love with this craft for over 20 years. I got started during the .com bust when nobody was hiring for anything digital, and stuck with it. So I don't come from any other background. I've been a digital first mindset my entire career. And now that the concept of data and the value of data is participating in the evolution as the same evolution of digital, we're now all data stars too. So that's my background. You can definitely find me on LinkedIn should we not get a chance to interact through this event. And so that's me in a nutshell.
Terrific. Well, thanks very much, Colin. Tom Price is Regional Director of Sales and Marketing at Chartwell Retirement Residences. Thanks, Tom. How about yourself? You're based out of Ottawa. Talk a little bit about what you do.
Thanks, Mark. I am based out of Ottawa these days. I've been based out of numerous Canadian cities over the years, but we've been in Ottawa for about 13 years. And my career, I guess, has been involved in hospitality and tourism for the majority of it. And about 3 years ago, made a switch over to seniors luxury accommodation, which has been really interesting. So in the early days, I worked as director and VP of sales and marketing for hotel companies like Fairmont and Marriott, and some independent hotel companies. Some of them had real estate divisions, and we had timeshare or recreational properties that you could purchase outright. So a whole long career in the sales and marketing side of those type of industry sectors. And then for about 10 years, I just worked on my own as a consultant, helping helping people launch new hotels and build new hotels mostly across Canada, a little bit in the States. And so that was kind of lots of fun. And then decided that, hey, maybe it was time to actually show up at home more than once a month. And got into an industry that allowed me to be in Ottawa a lot more, which we love as a city. And so went into seniors accommodation, which has definitely got interesting over the last year or so with the pandemic. And hopefully we can talk a little bit more about that today. But really glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Oh, thanks so much, Tom. Kate Wolf is VP of Sales at Kratos Management Consulting. Thanks, Kate, for being on. And similar, if you can introduce yourself a little bit more about what you do as well and your experience in sales management.
Sure. Thank you, Mark. I'm really pleased to be here today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Again, I'm Kate Wolf, and the name of my business is Kratos Management Consulting. It can be found at kratos.ca. And what we do is we go in and help businesses improve their top line. And I do that in a number of different ways. I go in and do turnarounds, for example, bringing a company like Pitney Bowes from 25% to quota at end of Q3 to 107% to quota at the end of Q4. That was a team within Pitney Bowes, not as a whole, of course. And I've done the same at Yellow Pages Group, Lyrico, a number of large companies. And I've also worked with concept stage as well. So actually helping companies that have an idea but don't know how to launch, helping them get to that launch stage and get out there with their product or service. So I have lots of fun doing it. I have been in sales and coaching since I was a very young child. Brownies, selling cookies, you name it. I've been in sales in some capacity all my life, and same with coaching. I've been a coach at school, since I was knee high to a grasshopper. And so I do executive coaching as well, working with other leaders to bring out the best in them. And I do that with my 6-pillar methodology approach, which is self-health, familial, community, spiritual, and community. I missed one there. Self-health, career, familial, community, and spiritual. There we go, 6 pillars. And that's basically what I do. So I help people improve their revenue, bottom line. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Kate. Linda Kern is founder and CEO of the Kern Group, Inc. Linda, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Mark, and really great to be on the panel with everybody here. So my background is sort of similar to Kate. Kate, I was smiling when you talked about selling as a child. I've sold door-to-door cookies and mints and lottery tickets and all kinds of things. I was in a community band, and I had totally forgotten about that. But I started my sales career in the mid-'80s with a large manufacturer, and did that for 5 years, and then spent 5 years in a sales training role. So that was back in the days when there was more one-time event training. So I trained over time, trained a large sales team and the sales managers around sales skills. And so that was really my entrance into working with teams, working with salespeople. And that was really where my love is. I moved from that to another company in a leadership role, helping them to grow a franchise organization here in Canada. And then I think it's about 16, 17 years ago now, I opened the doors on this business. It's a sales consultancy. And so I work with companies. I started it really working with organizations around sales training. So sales training had sort of turned into, at that time, we would do an event like a day or 2 or 3, but there'd be some follow-up to that, some coaching and mentoring to make sure they were putting the skills into practice. In the last 4 to 5 years, I've spent most of my time now blending all of my background into really leading sales teams. So I still do some training. I have a couple of clients where I'm the sales coach of the VP of sales. I have some clients where I'm a fractional or part-time VP of sales, where they really need the leadership component, and most of the time there is a sales leader there, maybe a junior or younger person or less experienced, and so I'm kind of really working with them. They're the boots on the ground, coaching and mentoring them, but also engaging with the sales team as well, helping them hire and doing some training and some coaching and some mentoring. That's what I love the most. The other thing I really love is a labor of love for me for about almost 4 years now is I run a sales leader peer group. It's in the vein of other types of peer groups, usually for CEOs or presidents. This particular peer group is for sales leaders only, usually pretty experienced. Most of the members are pretty experienced sales leaders. We meet every day for half a month. They bring their issues and challenges. They bring their KPIs, and we talk all things sales for half a day a month. And they have each other's backs, and they collaborate and share best practices. That's me.
That's great. Well, thanks, Linda. If you're just joining, my name is Mark Belache. I'm president of TorontoJobs.ca. Our panel, Colin Jean, director of digital engagement, sales and growth at Service Credit Union. Kate Wolf is VP of sales at Krotos Management Consulting. Tom Price, regional director of sales and marketing at Chartwell Retirement Residences, and Linda Kern, founder and CEO of the Kern Group Inc. So throwing it out there to the panel, there's lots of challenges that sales managers go through. Everything from finding the right people, training and coaching, finding compensation solutions, and so on. What do you think is the number one issue right now? Maybe what you have personally, and what you think sales management has to face as of now, a year after the pandemic has hit. So, Colin, why don't we start with you?
One of the things that springs to mind is how can we leverage technology to automate a lot of the tasks that we've been working with. Even things down to manual entry into an Excel spreadsheet is now becoming a thing of the past. And for everybody who's frustrated by the time it takes to manage through Excel, there are automation tools out there, basically bots or robots, if you will, that can automate those tasks and remove that manual effort completely. And how can we also get better at targeting our members, our customers, and who we're talking to, and again, there's a technology approach to that as well. So for me, wrapping that all up, it's a MarTech sales tech approach. What types of marketing technology and sales technology and operational technology, specifically automation, can help us with that. And you'll probably read marketing automation. That's definitely one of them. And but look at tools that can help automate workflow as well. And that will allow us to focus on higher level tasks and higher volume activities. And I think that's a strategic enabler in this modern market. Terrific.
And by the way, if you're watching, you have any questions that you want to ask the panel, feel free to throw them in the event or in the stage chat. Tom, what about you? What kind of issues, challenges have you had to face or currently facing?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Well, I mean, we work, the seniors accommodation sector has been changed dramatically, given the current state of the pandemic. We've always been a highly regulated sector. So in other words, there's lots of rules that we have to follow in terms of our products and services and how we take care of people that live in our residences. But from a sales point of view specifically, the biggest directive that changed our lives was that nobody could come into see our product anymore, at least not physically. People couldn't come into the buildings. And part of the explanation in understanding that is the change in perception of what seniors accommodation is all about. There's a grand divide, I guess, as we call it, between long-term care residences and independent, luxury residents. And luxury doesn't matter really, but so in to the world, we were all one. The product was all the same. And they're tremendously different, actually. At Chartwell, we do manage a small amount of long-term care, and the majority of our 200 and some homes are independent residences. So the biggest change for our sales team was to go virtual, and that's common. I mean, that's happened right across the board and in every sector. Ours quite dramatically, because our salespeople our teams were not usually not that technical, actually, and they were more relationship based. It's more or less a similar model of selling real estate, and so the first thing the company did was buy everybody, for instance, the latest and greatest iPhone, and then gimbal sticks. And a lot of the folks had never heard of a gimbal stick or what it does. And it's simply an attachment you put on your phone that has a gyroscope in it. I'm sure Colin's nodding. He knows far more about it than I do. But from my perspective, it allowed us to take steady videos and show our product to the public and continue to show our product to the public. But our customers are 80 plus in terms of their age. So hitting them with all this kind of technology is not necessarily the only solution they're looking for when their answer is, I don't have internet service. So we've had to be very flexible in terms of our approach of building relationships. But the common denominator, I think, is trust. And that's what I was preaching to our entire company, whoever would listen to me right from the beginning, is we now have to have a different way of building trust. But all of the skill sets that we have as this overall sales organization, remain the same in terms of how we build that trust. But the methodology we use to communicate changed dramatically, Mark.
Yeah, that's good. Good point. Yeah, it's definitely changes in industry, hasn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
So Kate, what do you see the difference between a new salesperson starting 5 years ago and somebody starting today in terms of how you need to manage, how you need to coach, train?
Yeah, I mean, obviously technology has caught up to us a lot with the pandemic, and it really, honestly, it was coming. It needed to catch up. So I'm happy that it did. I'm sorry for the circumstances, but I'm happy it did. And I mean, it saves a lot of time for reps that were 5 years ago driving around from appointment to appointment to appointment. You could only fit in so many appointments a day because you had to leave an hour on average to get from one destination to another by the time you park and get in time for the meeting, etc. So it's saving a lot of time. But what I'm really coaching people on is to really be kind to themselves and to other people. I mean, empathy obviously goes a long way, especially in these times. People have children, they have pets, they have all kinds of things interrupting your conversation, and you do too. And stepping away from the computer every now and then to just take care of yourself a little bit is really important. And I know it's easy to get lost in your day, and you're focused on the computer and you're doing your tasks and you're on video calls and you're on phone calls and you're just busy. But make a concerted effort and set alarms if you need to get up and get away from your desk and go do something else, like unload the dishwasher, throw a load of laundry in, scrub a toilet, whatever it is you need to do. But just do something to get a break away from the computer, because we're so technology focused now. I think everybody's feeling it in their eyes and in their heads and everything at the end of the day, right? So my advice really is be kind to yourself and be kind to others, because you don't know what their circumstances are. And I think it's really important that we keep that in mind. But sales is a living, breathing thing, and we need to contact our prospects with kindness and respect and really have an open conversation with them. So I think that's really important nowadays. And 5 years ago, it looked a lot different with no technology and driving around with your files in the car, and but nowadays we've got it all on the computer. So my greatest tip is just step away from the computer every now and then and get that break time so that you're fresh and can be really connected with that person that you have that time with.
Kate brings up a good point. As a sales professional, you always want to lead with empathy. You always want to, understand who you're talking to and why. But that also starts with yourself. And just to corroborate one point on top of Kate's point is, my chiropractor was saying, to manage your Zoom fatigue, stand up every 15 minutes, set an alarm if you have to, and just change your view and change your posture. So there's a lot to be learned from, interacting in this environment, both from how you manage yourself and how you would manage a conversation. So interesting point.
There's the 20-20-20 rule. Have you heard?
Yeah.
20 minutes on the computer is fine, but every 20 minutes you take a 20-second break at minimum and look at something that's 20 meters away. right?
Or more.
20, and that helps actually. I find that helps. Linda, anything to add to the discussion?
I think the only thing I would add is, in terms of leading sales teams, is really to increase the communication. So where you might have bumped into them in the office, hi, how's it going? What are you working on? It's been a little bit more formalized. Something I learned early in the pandemic that I really love is, instead of how are you doing, ask everybody how they're feeling. How are you feeling? Be sure to check in on anything that's going on with their family that you know is happening. With their parents or their kids or a colleague, a friend. You just kind of want to keep tabs a little bit on some of the stuff that's going on in their personal life. One of my favorite things around communication is the daily huddles. I'm a big fan of a daily huddle, which is nothing really more than just a few minutes. You can do it in the morning for 10-15 minutes, and it basically works around what were your top successes yesterday, what are you working on today, and do you have any roadblocks? So it's fairly quick. As a recipient of that, I've been a recipient of that as well on a team, and I love the fact that I need to be focused every morning when I come to that meeting. So I know I'm doing a service to the teams I'm working with by asking them that. They come focused and ready to go.
Excellent.
I think just to add to Linda's point, great idea on the managing expectations front and the daily huddles. We do that in an agile format called daily stand-ups, and literally 15 minutes, and everybody's touching base, making sure they're connected within the jobs to be done. What's interesting about the technology platforms that we're using, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, et cetera, is I think that I heard that one of those platforms, or both of them, is instituting a 15-minute time limit, 50-minute time limit for all 1 hour meetings, so that last 10 minutes you can go and manage your life accordingly. And something that we're looking at in our environment is something of the same, like only scheduling meetings for the 50-minute time mark or 45 minutes. I like to keep my meetings to half an hour or less. I think that concentrates the conversation to something that's meaningful. But of course, where more engagement is required, more time is required. But I would say the best practice is leaning towards that 50-minute time mark on a Zoom call or on an MS Teams call or in a virtual environment. So interesting how this conversation is shaping towards how to better use our technology.
That's a really good point, Colin. Our time, I try to segment my time into 15-minute blocks, just mentally, so that I'm very aware of the time that I'm spending during the day, and I coach others to do that as well. That's a great point, Colin.
So what does the future look like for the sales manager? What skills, what does it look like? What do their days look like? Kind of open to anybody.
I'll start.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I'll just. I think when we got a directive from our HR team about the importance of having technical skills when we're hiring salespeople. So that was clearly a no-brainer, but it really reminded me going forward that we can't lose track of the soft skills that many of you spoke about today that are just extremely important with the whole relationship development piece. I love the words today on kindness and empathy, and we have a little program now that we call prospects, and with us, it's the prospect and their family. So the seniors and their family, and we have these family meetings all focused around how they're doing and how we can help them today, long before they consider moving in. So that was my point. I think the future is, I think we've learned something, hopefully as a society, about the importance of putting that empathy and trust first.
Totally agree. The softer side, the people side of managing a team is going to be that much more important. I think you might be able to find someone to do some of the technical stuff, for you as the sales leader, and you manage the people side of it. The empathy, the trust is so important, and helping them understand what success looks like on a regular basis. And everybody at different stages of their careers in sales, or just different stages of the year, let's say, needs help understanding what success looks like, and they need you to display that sort of mindset when you're working with them. That this isn't about me keeping on top of you and squishing you like a bug. This is about me helping you on a regular basis to know, what that success does look like. So my vote would always be on the soft skills side for managing the people side of it. Have a little fun. I'm one to sort of, wear a stupid hat or, have a bottle of champagne or something, just celebrate the wins and that type of thing.
Yeah, Linda, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Thank you so much for setting that up. It's just celebrating the small wins, right? I mean, if somebody makes a sale or something positive happens, whatever it may be in your team, and it doesn't have to be big, just something very small, getting everybody on a video, on a Zoom call, and celebrating that win together. And it's just a couple minutes. It's very, very quick. And it's whoever can attend. I mean, if you're on a meeting, obviously you're not going to drop the meeting just to attend the celebration. But if you can, you attend. And it's just a great way to connect with one another and really stay engaged, because, it's very easy during times like these when everything is on technology to allow relationships to fragment. And so celebrating small wins is one way of coming together again and just staying cohesive.
Linda, I'm coming to your virtual happy hour for sure. I love the idea of having champagne involved.
I can't wait to have you there, Colin. I love those things. At the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, let's have somebody called it at the beginning of the pandemic, pour o'clock. I just jumped in. Let's have a pour o'clock and celebrate our wins at 4 o'clock on Friday. It's really interesting how often teams just go to the next thing and they sort of forget to stop and say,
yeah,
that was great. You got that deal. Oh, it's just a small deal. Doesn't matter. Good for you. Congratulations. Like, it's what we're here. I always say, my kids give me a hard time. It's what we're here for, people. It's what we're here for.
That's it. So real quick, we only have a couple minutes left here, but just compensation wise for your sales reps, what are you finding in today's world that is really motivating for them? Is it benefits? Is it pure commissions? Is it something else? What are you finding? What are you feeling? What are you sensing?
For anyone in my peer group, you no longer need an IT degree to leverage technology. There's lots of no-code, low-code options that you can leverage for any type of interaction, digitally speaking, whether it's a sales environment or an advice environment. And what that enables is upskilling and cross-training very easily on all types of technology that can help you do your work from a sales environment or a marketing environment or from an operational environment or from a thinking environment. And so the design thinking exercise here is how might we leverage data and technology, and to the conversation we just had about digital hygiene and being able to interact in these environments so that it's good for our mental and physical health. I think that gets back to not only the monetary compensation, but the mental compensation in terms of where we're going next. Technology is not going away. To Tom's point earlier about hiring people who have a technical background, that doesn't necessarily mean a formal degree in that. Like, you can go to any of these online learning sites and pick up these skills very quickly. So that's something to invest in as you're looking at your next opportunity or your current opportunity, how you can upskill and cross-train where you're at now applied to technology and data.
Just picking up on the points around education and other factors for motivating people, our group has got super excited about guest speakers. So we've been, and because I think there's so much media around, at the healthcare sector, we've had some pretty big celebrities were willing to join our quarterly conferences and sing us a tune or do a comedy routine or lots of stuff that's really brighten the day. So we have upped the commissions, mind you, so that's still, money still counts, but some other things are fun too.
Excellent.
Yeah, sales contests and fun little things that you can put on that last a week or a day or a quarter or a year. You can have them pivoted throughout the year like that. Sorry, Mark, it looked like you were going to wrap up.
No, it's okay. Good points. Good points all around. Thanks very much for all of you for your insights and being open and transparent about what's been going on. I want to thank everybody for coming to the Virtual Sales Management Conference. It's been a great opportunity all around to learn and to connect. Today's event is presented by TorontoJobs.ca and TorontoEntrepreneurs.ca and powered by EventLogic with a K.ca. My name is Mark Balaish, president of TorontoJobs.ca. Linda Kern on the panel, founder and CEO of the Kern Group, Inc. Tom Price is regional director of sales and marketing at Chartwell Retirement Residences. Colin Jean, director of digital engagement, sales and growth at Service Credit Union. And Kate Wolf is VP of sales at Kratos Management Consulting. How did you like the event? Let us know. We'll send you a survey to complete after the event within 24 hours. Let us know. Give us some good feedback, what you liked, what you didn't like, what kind of topics you'd like to hear in the future. I'd like to thank all the speakers who were on also before the panel and also the team. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, Alex, Rachel, Ann, Sandra, Sarah, Carla. A lot of people are involved in putting this together. So I want to thank everybody on the team. Our sponsors and exhibitors, TorontoJobs.ca. If you have any staffing needs, feel free to visit the website or email sales@TorontoJobs.ca. TorontoEntrepreneurs.ca. If you are an entrepreneur or you want to connect with business owners and other entrepreneurs, you can certainly visit the website. And EventLogic with a K.ca. If you'd like to sponsor, exhibit at, or speak at an upcoming event, visit EventLogic with EventLogic.ca. And in saying that, we have lots of upcoming other virtual events that are going on, and I'll put them in the chat here as well so that you can check things out. For example, we have the Student Career Conference happening on Wednesday, May 12th, and the link is on there. So if you're looking to hire students, perhaps, we also have the Canadian Virtual Career Fair happening on Wednesday, May 19th, and also the Toronto Entrepreneurs Virtual Conference that happens on Wednesday, June 16th. So lots of great events. We're running about 14 or 15 virtual events a month. So you want to check things out. And if you are interested in exhibiting or sponsoring or speaking, the link is there as well in the chat. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if there's anything I can help you out with as well. I've added my LinkedIn area there. And also you can subscribe to our TorontoJobs.ca YouTube channels as well. A lot of great videos there, and you can also stay connected with TorontoJobs.ca on all our social media as well. We are also recruiting for a financial advisor role, so it's great for someone, perhaps a sales manager who wants to get into building their own business within financial services. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me. We actually tack on an extra 10 minutes at the end of this event, so you still have some time to network through our speed networking, visit our expo and more. And again, thank you to all of you on the panel. Thank you all for attending, and stay safe and be well.